Okay, today's video is going over our third lesson from lesson 13, and we're still focusing on solving two-step word problems. So in this lesson today, we are still going to solve two-step word problems involving all four operations and greater numbers. So we are going to look at the example problem together. We're going to read through it, think about it, and we're going to explain why Ready Math is showing you the example they're showing you. Bridget is packing strawberries in sandwich bags to sell at her gymnastics meet. She has 140 strawberries and she makes bags of 5. So far, Bridget has packed 105 strawberries. How many more bags of strawberries can Bridget? Okay, so as we've reminded you each day, after you read your problem, each time you do want to slow down and make sense of your problem. So a lot of these problems are going to require you to read carefully, probably read them more than once, and really focus on your important information, what you are trying to solve. All right, so now we're going to look at the diagram that iReady has used with our example problem concerning Bridget. So in this problem, we know Bridget has a total of 140 strawberries. So that's why they're showing us that number 140 at the top of our diagram, or our part-whole diagram. So far, she has packed 105 of the strawberries. So that's why we're seeing that 105 in the larger part of our diagram. We need to find out how many more bags of 5 strawberries Bridget can make. So our equation will be 105 plus 5 times B equals 140. Remember, B is being used for our unknown number. That's what we want to find out. We need to take the total 140 and subtract 105 strawberries. The strawberries Bridget has already packed. So when we subtract 140 minus 105, we get 35. Now we can solve the equation 5 times B equals 35. And we know from previous lessons that 5 times 7 would equal 35. So now we know that Bridget can pack 7 more bags. Your B, that unknown, is going to equal 7. So 7 more bags would be our solution to our problem. Okay, so now we're going to focus on number 16. And we're going to read the problem. And then, of course, if we were really in class together, we would really be slowing down, thinking about this problem and making sense of it, looking for the important information. So, number 16. Students in Ms. Kemp's class earn 1 point for each page they read. A student who earns 300 points gets a prize. Elise reads 8 pages a day for 7 days in a row. How many more points does she need to earn a prize? Okay, so there's lots of information that's important in this problem and a lot of stuff to process as we think about this problem. All right, so let's think about what we already know. Elise has read 8 pages a day for 7 days. So we know that 7 times 8 equals 56. So Elise has read 56 pages. We also know that she needs 300 points to get a prize. So our equation should be 300 equals 8 times 7 plus x. So we're seeing that x again as our unknown, and this is the number of points that she still needs to win the prize. We will take the total points of 300 and subtract 56, which that's the number that represents the amount of points she has already earned to find the points she needs to get the prize. So then if we solve 300 minus 56, we would come up with 244. So Elise needs to earn 244 more points to get a prize. We can also use addition to check our answer. If we took 56 plus 244, we would get that total of 300, which is the points she wants to earn. Okay, so now continuing on to page 141, we're going to look at problem number 17. So we're going to start again by reading the problem, making sense of the problem, and focusing on our important information. Troy scored 945 points playing 3 games of pinball. He scored 312 points in the first game and 356 points in the second game. How many points did Troy score in the third game? Okay, looking at this problem, we know that Troy scored a total of 945 points. The first game, he scored 312, and in the second game, he scored 356 points. The missing number in this problem represents the points he scored in the third game. So in the equation, the X represents the points scored in that third game. So to solve this problem, we need to add the points of his score in games 1 and 2. So we would add 312 plus 356 plus X to try to get up to 945. So again, that X is our unknown. That's what we're trying to solve. Now we will take the total points of 945 and subtract 668. And then we will get a difference of 277. 945 minus 668 will equal X, our unknown. So that's why our X in the solution, okay, when they show 277 points, that's where we have solved for X. The 277 equals the missing number of points. So that is the number of points Troy scored in the third game. Again, remember, we can always check our answer by adding. And if we added 312 plus 356 plus 277, we would get back to his total of 945 points. Okay, and then our last problem, number 18. In the morning, 134 books were checked out from the library. In the afternoon, 254 books were checked out, and 118 books were checked out in the evening. How many books in all were checked out from the library that day? Okay, so now, if we focus on our information here, we know we would solve this problem by adding all of our numbers together. So we would add 134 plus 254 plus 118 to get the total number of books checked out. When we add those 3 numbers, we will get a total of 506. So that's why they're choosing D as the correct answer. But then at the bottom of the page, it says that Palo chose B. They want to know how he made that error. How did he get 388 as his answer? So if you went back and looked at the numbers in your problem, you would see that he only added 134 and 254, but he forgot to add the 118, which is the third number. So again, in each of these problems today, you could not go through this as quickly as we have talked through it on our PowerPoint. These are problems that would take you a little bit longer to think about, to focus on your important information, and to really make sure you're answering the correct question. But the examples that are provided for you from iReady, the equations they used, should help you strengthen your skills on how we solve 2-step word problems. But this is a skill that we know takes a lot of practice on, and we have to read carefully. Okay, but now that we've done the first 3 lessons in Lesson 13, you're ready for your next page in your workbook. And those next 2 pages are pages 142 and 143. And those are independent practice pages. So you do not have a PowerPoint slide with those pages. We want you to try those pages on your own, think about the strategies we've talked about in the first 3 lessons, and you'll probably need to get a parent or an adult, somebody maybe to look over those with you and make sure you have those answers correct.